What to do in the dark times. So this is my simple, actionable, rememberable advice when things are dark in your process. We all know this place. We may have periods of intense clarity, feeling really in flow, very present, feeling like you're not going to experience delusion again somehow. It's just that kind of ongoing clarity and peace. And then out of nowhere, you just feel disoriented. You feel turned around, turned upside down, confused. You know there's emotion, but aren't even clear on what you're feeling. Things can be muddy, disorienting. So what do you do in these situations, or what do I recommend in these situations? And because they're disorienting, because they're confusing and kind of muddy and maybe a little dissociative, I want to give something actionable, that's simple, that I find works reproducibly, but does require a bit of patience. So at the outset, I want to say, have patience with this. I'm not giving you a tool to make it go away right now, because that's not going to happen, most likely. Most likely, it's not going to just suddenly disappear in this moment because you apply what I'm going to describe. But what I am telling you is how to really get under it in the long run. How to really break the chains of causality that keep us becoming unconscious again and again. And it's a very simple attunement, very simple instruction, but I think it's valuable if you really apply it in your own experience, and continue to apply it in particular when you're feeling triggered, when you're feeling contracted, when you're feeling disoriented, turned around, upside down, whatever. And that is just this simple statement. Don't distract. Now, I know you've heard it before, and I know that there are times when you were able to not distract, and there are times when you're not so able to not distract. But if you can just stay with the momentary intention right now of don't distract, don't look away from this. And then again, if you get disoriented in a moment or an hour, go right back to it. Just in this moment, don't distract. Just look right at it, right? You don't have to analyze it. You don't even have to delineate what it is you're looking at, whether it's a feeling, a sensation, an emotion, a image of the mind, all of the above, some muddy mixture of experiences. Just don't look away from it, just for now. That's powerful work, especially if you learn to do this habitually, right? Like anything else, this is a habit, and you can get in the habit of not distracting when things are uncomfortable. And what you'll notice is, of course, things will never stay uncomfortable forever. They just won't. Just like they won't stay comfortable forever. Things are going to fluctuate and change, come and go. But if you just stay right here, you won't worsen the murkiness. You won't add unconsciousness to contraction. And with time, you'll see that this is the best possible thing you can do. The simplest thing you can do as well. The most intelligent and the most in alignment with realization. And that is just don't run from this, whatever it is. You can do a little inquiry if that helps to tune into it. You know, what am I feeling? What emotion is this? It may not be clear, and that's okay. Maybe like, maybe some sadness, some grief. It's also kind of some anger, but it doesn't feel fully expressing. There's also some like just confusion, right? That's okay. You may need to do a little bit of inquiry, but if the inquiry gets you in your head, or if the inquiry makes you feel so, I don't know, deflated that it makes you run away from the experience, then maybe the inquiry is too much. You have to play with this, but the primary statement is just don't distract. Just stay right here with it, whatever it is. You don't need to know what it is. You don't need to know what you're feeling. just stay in contact with it. Stay in contact with it. You could think of it like a child. So maybe, your child goes through something really challenging, really difficult. They don't know how to talk about it. But they're suffering. You can see it on their face, see it in the way they move. They look really deflated, sad, out of sorts, and you just stay in contact with your child. You hug it, him or her. Hold them close. You don't have to demand that they explain what's going on. They may not be able to. You can ask, but mostly what they want is to just remain in contact with you and for you to remain in contact with them, right? It's the same with this part of yourself. Just remain in contact. If nothing else, stay in contact, meaning don't distract. Now, part of this don't distract is actually knowing yourself, meaning knowing what your distractions are, right? And I understand sometimes these distractions are real demons, like they're really powerful. They can be addictions. But you can do it for a moment and another moment and another moment, right? This is how we break addictions, one moment at a time, one day at a time. They may not be the, demonic addiction I'm talking about, but they could be something that is just really habitual. And we all have them, right? We all do something like this, or multiple things. But one very common one now is dopamine scrolling, right? On our phones, on our computers or laptops, whatever. It's a very common one. When you're feeling something contracted, when you're feeling something really disorienting to the point where it may make you go unconscious, that's really the time to, if you can, don't distract yourself. Just feel it, stay with it. Don't run to the escape valve of dopamine. And again, get in the habit of this and it'll become easier and easier. It may not be easy at all at first, but don't beat yourself up if you fail the first time, second time, third time, or multiple times. But keep coming back to this as an attunement. Don't distract. This will pay off. It'll pay off huge. Because at some point, the clarity of non-duality. What I mean by non-duality is the intimacy of not two. That's right here. It's available here in the senses, in your environment, in this right here, and just being alive. That will become more and more poignant. It may come and go for a while, but it will become clearer and clearer. And what will really help stabilize that is what you don't do. And that's don't run away from it. Don't distract yourself when there's conditions present that are triggering, uncomfortable, that lead you to the irritability or lead you to the temptation or lead you to the frustration. When those conditions arise, just stay here. Don't run. Don't distract. Just feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Wherever you feel it, may be intense, may not be intense, may just be a chronic habit of running away from it, but just feel what's here. Tune into it. And again, like I said before, some inquiry may be helpful. It may be helpful to just, okay, where am I feeling this in the body primarily? You don't have to do some complex body scanning practice, but you can ask, where is this? Oh my gosh, it's in my chest. I can feel it right here. Chest and gut. Like, it's intense. There's something really uncomfortable here, but I can stay in contact with it. Alas, I don't have to run. It's right here. Stay there. That's what I mean. Just don't distract. Give it some time. Be patient. It will morph. It will change. It will come and go. But at some point, it won't be a problem in the way it is now. So that's my simple advice for the day is don't distract. And, the way you apply this may be slightly different than the way I'm describing it, but take it on board. Try it out. See where it takes you, or see where it doesn't take you. And see what happens when you actually stay with something uncomfortable until it changes significantly, right? See what happens when you stay with something you would normally run from until it changes significantly. Could be almost anything. Could be just a little bit of discomfort. Could be pain. Could be hunger. Could be shame, guilt, sadness. There are a lot of things we run from. Or again, it could just be a murkiness, a muddiness, and a lack of clarity. some feeling of low self-worth. Sometimes that sneaks in and we just want to run from that. Instead, just stay with it. Stay in contact. Don't try to change anything. Just don't run from it. Give it time and see what happens.